Good afternoon, ladies. Thank you. Okay, now we are incredibly fortunate to have another special guest with us. She's taken time out of her schedule, and she always makes it a huge priority to be at Girl State with us. I got to listen to her speak last year when I was a citizen. Our Secretary of State, Natalie Tennant, is here. So I'm going to introduce her, and then I would like your complete and undivided attention for her speaking, and I would like you to know that we are live streaming her speech as well. So throughout her administration, Secretary Tennant has been a leader in promoting open and engaging government and business-friendly initiatives. She has streamlined the Secretary of State's office to make it more efficient and cost-effective while improving services for voters, candidates, business owners, and citizens who depend on the office for important information about charities and administrative law. Under Secretary Tennant's leadership, the Secretary of State's office has met unprecedented challenges and promoted bold initiatives. Most recently, Secretary Tennant spearheaded legislation to allow for electronic voter registration in West Virginia. In 2013, thanks to years of cost-saving and efficiency programs, Secretary Tennant was able to return $3 million of taxpayer money to general revenue. Secretary Tennant's vision also includes pilot projects that improved voter turnout and decreased costs, secure community voting locations to make it more convenient to cast a ballot, online annual report filings that save business owners time and money, and a transparent approach to state government. One innovative effort Secretary Tennant has taken in transparency is live webcasting and social media so citizens can have an unfiltered look at what actions her office is taking. West Virginia has also emerged as a leader on the national stage when it comes to making it easier for deployed military to vote using a safe and secure internet connection. Secretary Tennant also has more investigations and convictions for election law violations than any other secretary in West Virginia's history. Along with her duties as Secretary of State, Secretary Tennant was the first West Virginian chosen for the Aspen Institute's Rodel Fellowship Program. In 2011, the Secretary of State's office hosted the National Association of Secretaries of State Summer Conference for the first time ever in West Virginia. In 2012, Secretary Tennant was elected to another 4-year term. She remains focused on conserving taxpayer dollars and providing government transparency. Secretary Tennant currently resides in Charleston with her husband Eric Wells and daughter Delaney. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Tennant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you all very much. Good afternoon. I must say, I do make it a priority to be here. I'm just going to go straight out and say that. I love coming to Girl State. It is probably, I think it's my favorite day of the year. I mean, I do like Election Day. That's a little thing that goes on every couple of years. But I love Girl State. And look at, well, you don't even know. I want to say Miss Rosemary, oh, look, she's already got a baby in her hand. Uh-oh. Look at how things have changed, because we're always improving. We're always looking to improve, aren't we? Well, you all don't know this, but you see back where the tech guys are and where the camera is? Man, they've got like 5 or 6 people back there. That's where we used to stand. And so it would come from all directions. Now look at this getup. You got a curtain and everything. I should have walked behind here and like come out through the curtain, don't you think? Wouldn't that be cool? Would it scared you? There was a Secretary of State named A. James Manchin. Anybody ever heard of him? Where's my North Marion? Well, you guys don't count. Have you ever been on Husky Highway, A. James Manchin Highway? Do you know who that is named for? Well, A. James Manchin was Secretary of State and a very demonstrative and I don't know if flamboyant, is that, okay, flamboyant. I'm allowed to use that word in describing A. James Manchin. But when he would greet people in the Secretary of State's office, he would have some of the staff members maybe sing a song or play a song on a kazoo, and he would come out from behind a curtain and greet folks. Now, I come out of my office and say, hey, welcome to the Secretary of State's office. Let me show you all this that's going on here. And I show you pictures of actually 28 of our 29 Secretaries of State to kind of set that. So I'll come out and greet you and say hello, but nothing like A. James Mansion. And this curtain made me think of that, so I kind of digressed a little bit. But it's always good to know your history, to know where you're coming from. And that's actually one reason. Who's been to the Secretary of State's office? Who's had me give a tour or heard me talk? You've been to the office. Did you see the 10 or the pictures of the 28 out of 29 Secretaries of State? I always think it's important to know your history and know where you come from. And all of the wonderful things that your governor, Katie, may have talked about, the accomplishments that we focus on in the Secretary of State's office. You know, you can never get too big for your britches, because that foundation was built by other secretaries, and I'm continuing to build the foundation for the next secretaries. And I know we have your current Secretary of State for Girl State here, and 2 folks who are running for Secretary of State. And then in this room, we might have a future West Virginia Secretary of State. Yeah, yeah. Are you guys sunburned? You got sun poisoning from being outside? Suck it up, man. Think about it. When Helen Holt was Secretary of State back in 1957, let me tell you, AC was not readily available. So get with it, girls, and toughen up, all right? This is 2016, and it is an honor to be here. As I said, I love coming to Girl State. I feel as though I am 17 and 18 years old again, that I have this awesome future ahead of me, that I can change the world, I can take on the world and get things done. Is that what you guys feel like? A leader in your school? Yeah. You can be enthused, and we're going to have some back and forth questions, because I am going to make sure we leave some time for that, because I got Ripley back there who's dying to ask me some questions, right? There she is. She's trying to get extra credit from her teacher, Joe Boggs Phillips, aren't you? You got us on Snapchat. Is she watching on the webcast? Should I text her? She's a teacher at Ripley High School, and we do webcasts in the Secretary of State's office, and she will text me and ask a question from the class, and then we will answer it on camera. I mean, you want to talk about transparency in government, you got it right there, all right? So anyway, here at Girl State, I love this. I love the leadership that you all are learning, and the confidence that you're building. You know, already you've excelled, and you have become leaders in your school and in your community. But this helps you just give a little extra ounce of confidence, because how many of you have made new friends that you didn't meet before? Okay, everybody's hand should be up, or we got some problems. We're going to do some reevaluation here, okay? We're not going to let you sit at the same table every day for the next 3 days, okay? But see that confidence? I mean, you met somebody from North Marion, right? Okay, yeah. That's right. What's our smallest high school in the state? Got to be a single A. Well, Pickens. Bishop Donahue or Pickens also. So make sure you go and meet somebody from your smallest school. So, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this lately. And for good or bad reasons, you all are going to hear this today. Yesterday was an amazing day. I had the opportunity to speak at Boys State. And they bring greetings. I've already passed the greetings from the governor of Boys State, Carlo, to the governor of Girl State, Katie. So yesterday was a pretty amazing day, and I thought it was awesome and very fortunate on my part that I was blessed that I was able to speak to Boys State on June 14th, which is what? Very good. They didn't really give me an answer as readily as you did. And then yesterday was also Election Day. And not just Election Day for Boys State or Girls State, but it really truly was Election Day for many of our cities and towns across the state. Places like Grantown, Kaiser, Barrackville, Westover. So it was Election Day. And I think about these days, and I think about, a couple weeks ago we observed Memorial Day, right? A great American holiday. And in a couple weeks, what are we going to observe? What are we going to celebrate? The 4th of July, our state's birthday, right? That's awesome, isn't it? And so what does that make you feel like when we're celebrating these milestones, Flag Day, 4th of July? What's it make you feel like? Free. Patriotic. America, I was waiting on that one. Where'd it come from? America, where are you from? Kaiser. They celebrate America and Kaiser when they go to Castilla's restaurant. Castilla's? Yes. You guys eating there? Are all you guys from Mineral County? What? Pretty much? Who's not from Mineral County? Okay. Listen, Kaiser and Mineral County, no more eating together. Got to go beyond that boundary. That's what America is about. We're a melting pot, all right? So get out of Mineral County. Sit with somebody else. Plus, are you running for office? No? Okay. I was going to say, you got to go beyond your regular folks, too, when you're running for office also. So we got America, too. So we're feeling good, right? So here's my question to you. Do those milestones and those celebrations define our democracy? Make you think. Does our government define our democracy? All right, I got a smarty pants in the crowd. She's not letting me get there yet. Yeah. You could say that all of those things maybe are a part of our democracy. But my question then becomes, what's your name there? Bethany, where are you from? Clarksburg, what school? Liberty? She thinks she's extra patriotic, doesn't she? Because she goes to Liberty Harrison. Well, let me tell you something, smarty pants. There's a Liberty Raleigh. There's an Independence. Washington, where am I? Wheeling Park Patriots. George Washington Patriots. What are you guys? And you guys are the Liberty Mountaineers? You ever had a girl mountaineer at Liberty High School? What's that about? What's that about down there? Who's down there? What's that? What? What? Oh, I was super dog at North Marion. Get your schools together, girl. See? She knows her history, doesn't she? She knows her North Marion history. You go, girl. Anyway, Bethany. So, democracy. We talked about those definitions. Do citizens define our democracy? Bethany? Thank you. You know, Thomas Jefferson, there's this saying, I'm not sure the full quote, but Thomas Jefferson, you know, you all are in the middle of elections. We're in the middle of a presidential year, 2016. We're getting a new president. We're getting a new governor in West Virginia. What's the most important position in our democracy? That of citizen. Exactly. And think about this. You all came here as citizens, right? You're citizens of Girl State. And so, yes, our most important part of democracy is our citizens. I mean, think about this. We wouldn't have a country if it weren't for our citizens. I mean, didn't somebody somewhere one time, like, they liked their tea, didn't they? Didn't somebody somewhere one time do something with tea? Oh, the Boston Tea Party. Thank goodness. Thank goodness they kept some for me, right? The citizens did that, didn't they? How about the Boston Massacre? Some will say that helped to really start it too. Because it was the citizens. It was citizens who helped to start and form our democracy. They stood up. And so, where does that bring all of you? You know, I have a saying sometimes that our democracy is only as strong as our most vulnerable citizen. Does that make sense to you? Because you all are feeling pretty good. We got America over here in Mineral County, and they're feeling so good, don't you? I mean, when you have the celebration, and then you go to Kaiser High School when they have the Edward Kelly Award. He was a World War II hero, Medal of Honor recipient. Correct? You guys still with me on all of that? No girl will ever win that one, right? Isn't that a bummer? Anyway, they are America over there in Mineral County. But lost my point on my citizenship. And so we celebrate. Oh, you're only as strong. Hang on a second. Let me get back. You're only as strong. Our democracy is only as strong as our most vulnerable citizen. Now that makes you take a gut check a little bit, doesn't it? Because I can look around this room and I say, yes, we have a strong democracy because we have smart young women in this room, smart young women who have accomplished a lot in their young lives. So you all are up here, and this is how strong our democracy is in this room. But think about that. How strong are we here if our democracy as strong as our most vulnerable citizen? And what makes someone a vulnerable citizen? I need help in defining that some. I mean, to me, think about what makes someone a vulnerable citizen. Being uneducated, great, and don't have access to education. I mean, do you guys know where your governor is going for college? No, you don't. Oh, Boston University. You got outside Mineral County and found that out, didn't you? She's from Clarksburg. She's going to Boston University. Something like bioengineering. Oh, biomedical. Okay. I don't even know what she's going to do with that. I don't think she's got a whole lot of career after that. I don't know why she's going to biomedical engineering. But she's had opportunities, and she's worked hard for those opportunities too. But I'm going back to education. You're right, and that's why public schools are so important, because they call that the great equalizer. For those who have opportunities to those who don't, if you're educated, you certainly can get those opportunities, and that's why scholarships are so important. Of another vulnerable citizen, you don't have access. Maybe you don't have transportation, that you can't get to the doctor readily. You know, I had a root canal on Monday. I'm tough. I didn't even need the air condition either. But I had access to a dentist where they called me and say, we have a last minute opening. Would you like to come? Yeah, I'll come. Not everybody can do that, because there are some people in West Virginia who would have to say, well, I don't know, it's 7:30 in the morning and you want me to be there at 12:15. Well, let me see if I can find a ride. Let me see if I can get gas money to give somebody that ride. And so that's what I mean. Our democracy, if we can't give access and opportunities to others, you know, that person might still be in pain with an abscessed tooth that if it's not taken care of quickly may then just have to be pulled if you don't have insurance or you can't afford to pay for the process being done and then the filling or a crown that has to go on it afterward. So that's vulnerability for some of our citizens. You know, man, I'm really being tough on you guys, but how many of you ate a fruit or a vegetable today? Okay, now I'm going to put you out. Who didn't? You good Americans just had a hot dog and hamburger, didn't you? You did. But there are some people who don't even have the fruit and vegetable. So we're only as strong democracy as our most vulnerable citizen. Okay. Secretary, I'll go with you on that one. So what next then? What do we do about it? Can you guys do anything back in Mineral County or in Jackson County or Marion County? Can you do anything about it? What can you do? Give me some ideas. Get out to your community and what? Help them if they need it. I mean, think about where you're coming from what you're able to possess. Because can I tell you something? In Marion County, I lived up a farm. Hollow holler. Yeah, I tried to be uppity a little bit. Come on. Didn't always have access. I mean, I would ride my bicycle from the house to Fairview, like a 3-mile bicycle ride, just to, for me, get a pack of bubble gum. That's why I have bad teeth. So maybe, but what was I able to do? You have a suggestion. What's your name? Haley, from where? Fairmont. East or west? Yes. So, can I tell you something, Haley? Sorry that you got me, because I'm from Marion County. Carolina is not Fairmont. I know where Carolina is. Carolina is near Monongah, and it's next to Ida Mae. And guess what? Carolina and Ida Mae were sisters, right? Let's just go with this story. That's what I know. And there was this father, and I can't remember his name. Help me, Rosemary. I mean, there was this father, and these towns are named Carolina and Ida Mae. What? And they had a sister, Rachel? Are you sure? Because Rachel's way over here, and Carolina and Ida Mae are over there. Is that true? They got a sister, Rachel. Cole Barron? Okay, see? History. There are things that are written on the side of the road sometimes, and they mean things. They do. They do. Who would name a town after their kids here? Daggone, none of you people? Well, you don't have any children, I know. Okay. You wanted to say something, didn't you? What'd you say? Start a youth center and get kids out of trouble. I mean, you guys have some big ideas, but what can you do first? What can you do first as a citizen? And I'm going to ask a lot of you. You guys know what the Secretary of State's office does? Not a clue. Okay. What's that? The seal. Okay. We do have the state seal. And actually, the reason that I'm the keeper of the state seal, of the Great Seal of the state of West Virginia, is because we are the keeper of documents. We're the secretary to state government. When the governor signs a proclamation, executive order, when the governor signs the budget bill, it comes to the Secretary of State's office. Or when he signs a proclamation, it's not official until the Secretary of State signs her name on there and puts the state seal on there. Natalie E. Tennant, Secretary of State. You know what the E stands for? Ethel, and I'm proud of it. It means noble. So anyway, yes, keeper of the Great Seal. We also register businesses and give license for or business. We register charities, notaries, private investigators, marriage celebrants. That's people who can marry people, and sports agents. So that's the other area of the Secretary of State's office. So then, the one that people are thinking a lot about in the Secretary of State's office is that I'm the CEO of West. Same? I know same. But I'm an original person. And I would say that's just fantastic. Daggone, you guys are making me lose my train of thought. Oh, CEO. What's your name? Andrea what? From where? Huntington. Which school? St. Joe's. I was just there, wasn't I? Yeah, we're going to talk about that because I got to hustle up. Now I'm taking up too much. I have too much fun talking to you guys. CEO. I already told you what it stands for, didn't I then? What's it stand for? Oh, Andrea was all big and talk, and now she doesn't have it. Can't bring it. Same. What? Exactly, but you're the one who opened your mouth. See, they didn't join in, did they? Oh, we're going to talk about that too. CEO of the state of West Virginia? What are you, Katie, in Girl State? Are you the CEO? Yes, you are. CEO, Chief Executive Officer. I'm going to kind of give that title to the governor, but I am the CEO, Chief Election Official. So this time of year, this season, next 5 months, that's what folks are focused on, elections. And so this is where I'm going to go and say that you can, as part of a citizen of democracy, because we're only as strong as what our citizens have to offer us. And so there are many opportunities, and that's why when Katie was introducing me, she was talking about some of the things that we've done, and I'm so proud of online voter registration. Anybody have one of these things? Not exactly like mine. Anybody use these? You allowed to use them during camp? Sometimes? Like not speaking. So nobody's tweeting about me right now? No one's Instagramming, I have no idea about Snapchat. You did? All right. Okay. I made her Snap story. Where are you from? What school? South Charleston. Black Eagles. Okay. So, Black Eagles? It's no Mountaineer, but it's a Black Eagle. You guys use these things, right? So what power is it to have online voter registration? So none of you guys are registered yet, but you will be. And if you use this, shouldn't we offer services that are similar to what you use and being able to use? So you have that. And the next move that we're making, I mean, this is becoming old hat. Online voter registration, because we're moving next to automatic voter registration. When you interact with the Department of Vehicles, someone's not registered, they're gonna become registered, because that is your step in one part of democracy, in that your voices will be heard. You know, we've got a lot of excitement over 2016, don't we? Because people are saying, no, we're going to get a new president no matter what, a new governor no matter what. We're electing statewide office holders, House of Delegates, state senators. So that's one way that you can get involved. And that's why I want to mention to you, the ladies were here from Inspire yesterday. Was that yesterday? Huntington? Joe? St. Joe's? Okay, does anybody remember that they were here? Doesn't matter the day. What'd they talk about? Voting and registering to vote. And what could be your job if you can't go out and build a center where you can have children come in and learn? What can you do? Yes, ma'am. You can, if you have the opportunity, you can go, this is what she's saying, go out and make sure that people are informed and can take that initiative. And there is a program called Inspire West Virginia. And what it does is it will train ambassadors from high schools to then go and get their fellow classmates registered to vote. Is peer pressure a good thing or a bad thing? Both, exactly. And so Inspire West Virginia uses good peer pressure and says, please register to vote or go register to vote, because as young people, we need to have our voices heard, because you can help shape the future. I mean, who do you think has a bigger impact? The Secretary of State coming to you and saying, we need you to register to vote? Or America over here coming up and saying, come on, come register to vote. Let's get everybody registered to vote who's eligible to vote in our school. What has a bigger impact? America does, don't they? Exactly. And let me tell you what else we do. If you get 100% of those registered to vote in your class, 100% of those eligible to vote registered, then the Secretary of State, happen to know her, will come to your school and present the Jennings Randolph Award. to your school. Who's Jennings Randolph? Well, Devaney, you do know. You, is that true? You think? Jennings Randolph. He was from little old Salem. Do you know where Salem is? Yup. Bethany? 10 minutes from her house. How far is it from Carolina? Little old Salem, in little old Harrison County, in little old West Virginia came Jennings Randolph, United States Senator. And yes, Devaney is right. He became the father of the 26th Amendment that did what? Gave 18-year-olds the right to vote. Why? Why do we care if 18-year-olds vote? Because why? That's right, they can go in the military. And this really came, it started in World War II, but really came to a head in the Vietnam War when there was this saying, if you were old enough to fight and die for your country, you should be old enough to vote for the leaders who sent you there. So Jennings Randolph took a lot of failures. This amendment, he introduced it 10 times. It failed 10 times. But thank goodness he was a hard-headed West Virginian who continued and said, 18-year-olds are important enough. If you're old enough to fight and die for your country, you should be old enough to vote for the leaders sending you there. So on the 11th time, it passed. So 18-year-olds get to vote. There you go. Got to make sure you guys are awake. So we give the Jennings Randolph Award. So I talk about elections, and I talk about being involved and getting with Inspire. I know they were trying to recruit some of you guys, and we want that. We want you to consider that and be that leader in your school. Here's else what I want you to consider for being a citizen of democracy. Because even though I'm the CEO, chief election official of the state, and I know that registering to vote and voting is ultimately important, it's important that's just not one thing of democracy. Democracy and being a citizen of democracy is a lot of responsibility because you have to participate also. And that comes with volunteering with some of your community centers, volunteering in your church, knowing who your neighbor is and going and saying hello. That can be democracy. And you know what else is a part of democracy? Questioning. Questioning what people say. Because we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, Snapchat, anything else that I need to be checking my daughter's phone for? There's something that starts with an R. What is it? No, not Reddit, the other thing. What? No, that's T. That starts with a T. Is that my North Marion girl? It starts with a T and ends with an R. Oh, yeah. Now you guys say something about us now, huh? There's another R. Not Reddit. There's I don't know. I got to go sneak on her phone and check all of her things. So anyway, there's a lot of social media. And I see it all the time, especially Facebook because I'm older, right? Rosemary, we're on Facebook, right? Anybody ever look at Rosemary's pictures, by the way? Her Christmas pictures are awesome. I live vicariously through that, and I'm from a big family, but I want to go there. Can I get invited to a Christmas event at your house? I live vicariously through a lot of people, and a lot of folks, older people like us, go to Facebook, but they might see something on Instagram too. And they see things, and then they start believing it. But our job as a good citizen to make a strong democracy is to question. And this is what I do. If I see something that's from a Democrat website, I don't believe the whole thing. If I see it from a Republican website, I don't believe the whole thing. If I see it from a Libertarian website, I don't believe the whole thing. You have to take all angles and question it, because that is what is important as a citizen of democracy. And you know what else it takes? It takes courage. It takes courage to stand up when everybody else is saying, Natalie Tennant, state treasurer. Natalie Tennant, state treasurer. Natalie Tennant, she was awesome. She's state treasurer. Like 8 people at your table in America over here, because they got more people than can fit around that table. Natalie Tennant, state treasurer. And there's one person going, state treasurer. She's She's not state treasurer. She's Secretary of State. But everybody else in that table of 15 is saying, she's state treasurer. So that's where, as a citizen, and you know the facts. Am I state treasurer? No. But you know the facts. Do you have the courage to stand up to 15 people at your favorite table, at the cool table at lunch, and say, guys, she's Secretary of State? I mean, that's hard sometimes, isn't it? Like that's an easy example, a simplistic example, but that's what's happening in our world now, in this environment, that people are saying one thing, and it's what's called groupthink, and everybody else starts thinking it, and you need one person. Courage is contagious. Does anybody else believe that? Courage is contagious. There's this saying that I saw in our bulletin at church that said, I gotta get it right. When a brave man stands up, the spines of others stiffen. Oh, Tennant, Secretary of State. No, she's not. She's state treasurer. And the other one says, you know what? I think she is Secretary of State. So now you got 2 to 13. Yeah. And then the piece de la resistance, let's Google it. Right? And then what's better than that? Down here, you hit a new tab and you hit Google, and then this is what you do. Oh, what happened here? Okay. You go like this, then you hit the microphone and say, is Natalie Tennant Secretary of State of West Virginia? ? And you Google it. But because that one person had the courage. And that's what I'm asking you as citizens. You guys, I'm not going to tell you how great you are. You're the cream of the crop. You're great. You're leaders in your school. But do you have the guts enough to stand up when others may be saying, no, Natalie Tennant voted for this bill? Can Natalie Tennant vote for legislation? Because what branch of government am I? What branch of government am I in? Executive. Do I have a vote in the legislature? No. Now, do you see how you had to use your mind a little bit more? That it's not just, yeah, she's Secretary of State. I was right because here's her website. Natalie Tennant is Secretary of State. But then the next question is, yeah, well, she's Secretary of State and she voted on this piece of legislation. Now you got to use your brain and your courage once again and say, she can't do that as Secretary of State because she's the executive branch. So that's what's been on my mind and on my heart a little bit lately, because I'm finding this, especially we have 5 more months left of this election, and people are just saying things sometimes, and we're not questioning and using our brain. You guys are the cream of the crop. You are smart. Heck, some kid's going to Boston University and doing some major that none of us know about. She's pretty smart, isn't she? But you got to have the courage to stand up. So that's the message that I bring you today, that you got to be able to stand up, and you have to be that citizen of democracy that participates, that questions, and then has the courage to help others. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes because I way went over. This always happens. And I know I'm still on your time, but now I got Bradley and Brianna back here. Look at him. Look at Bradley. Look at that. Look at that. Do it again, Bradley. Does this mean rally? Woo! Keep talking. That's what he meant. Give me a quick question. Give me a quick question. Anybody have one? Yes, ma'am. Tell me your name again. What? Madison from Black Eagles, South Charleston. Got it. Talking to the microphone. Stand up and be courageous, because when one person stands up, one brave man, one brave person stands up, the spines of others stiffen. And you as women have even a bigger burden. Just thought I'd say that because I forgot to tell you that in my notes. Because you always haven't had the right to vote. You always haven't had this voice and a chance to hold the microphone. So when anybody ever says, do you have a question? Take that microphone in your hand, and don't be one of these who say, I think you can hear me without the microphone. And men do that. And that is wrong. Take that microphone, talk as loudly as you can, and ask the question, answer the question, and stand strong, because the spines of others will stiffen, Madison.
Okay.
I'm convinced.
Um,
See, talk a little louder. Say, not but Madam Secretary, I have a question. Did you pan over here so you can see me? All right, you're on the ball then. Madam Secretary, I have a question.
Madam Secretary, I have a question.
What's your question, Madison?
What made you decide to be like a politician? Yeah.
What made me decide to be a politician? Oh boy, I don't have enough time. When I was in the 4th grade, my sister ran for student body president at Fairview High School. And I remember seeing her talk to my brother. I love telling this story. And she's like, Jonathan, come on, Jonathan, come on. Back in the day when you broke your arm, you would write on your cast, even more than now. And she would say, come on, Jonathan, come on. And I'm like, what are you asking him? And she said, I'm running for student body president at Fairview High School, and I want him to write on there, Kathy for president. And if I win, I will be the first woman student body president at Fairview High School. Well, that's all I needed. I come tattling to my mom, Mom, make Jonathan write on there. And so he did. She won. She's actually the first woman student body president and the last president because they consolidated into She's going to be a North Marion graduate too. Come on, guys. North Marion. Anyway. So that inspired me from the beginning, Madison. From the beginning. And so I wanted to be student body president at North Marion High School. So how do you get there? What? Be courageous. What's your name, North Marion? Lexi Devers. From North Marion High School. Lexi Devers. Are you running for something? Take that, Secretary of State. Lexi Devers is spirit leader. Whatever you were doing, yeah. Forgotten my own life story now. So anyway, I want to be student body president, Lexi Devers, at North Marion High School. What do? No. What'd he say? Barca? So what do? Am I just going to pounce in there and say, I'm going to be student body president? You got to work your way up, don't you? So I ran for freshman class president. Yes, and guess what happened? I lost. It wasn't very funny when you're a 15-year-old kid. See, all you guys are like seniors now. You forget about the freshmen now, don't you? So then I ran for sophomore class president. Guess what happened? I lost. You guys know this story? I'm going to quit telling it. I'm just going to make something up next time, Rosemary, when they ask me. So I ran for junior class president. Going to be determined to be student body president. And guess what happened my junior year? I lost. It's okay. I was a girls basketball player before it was cool to be a girls basketball player. We won one game my freshman year. It built character to be able to handle all those election defeats too. So, it's my junior year going into my senior year. Do I even dare run for student body president? I lost all those times, you guys. Oh, stand up. Oh, give me the courageous story now. Yeah, the spines of others stiffen. Yeah. Oh, you guys are real good now, aren't you? Tell that to a kid, a high school kid. Tell it to a high school kid who just lost and plays girls basketball that people make fun of, and we're so bad they put us in the fall. We can't shoot 3-point shots yet because I'm so old. They didn't have them yet. So, student body president. Well, I get the whole student body then from which to choose. The demographics grow because obviously I'm losing in my class, right? So I run for student body president, and someone said, get out. You know what I did? I did get out. I went out back. I went out back where the smokers were, and I saw Terry Hott there. He was a senior, and I was a junior. I'm like, Terry, they're smoking illegally. And I'm like, Terry, can you guys please just go vote? Please just go vote for me. So he brings about 5 or 10 people in and votes for me. So I'm out there going beyond just the junior class. Do you think I even asked anybody in my own class to vote for me? Because we already knew the result of that, didn't we? So I run for student body president. And guess what happens? Nobody knows? You guys are so smarty. I won! I finally won! Yeah! So see? I have no moral to that story whatsoever. You got to keep trying. You got to set your goals on something too. I mean, I was involved in other things. I was in the band. I was such a loser geek. I played girls basketball and was in the band. Thank you. Thank you. But I played clarinet, and then I moved up to cymbals. It's like, pew, boom. You got to hold them like that. On the Rockets, red glare. Pew, boop. You ever watch anybody play cymbals? See? That's what you got to do. You got to hold those babies in there so they don't. It is time for me to go. Here's my story then. Here's my other point then too. You guys got the confidence. You have the leadership. You are now seniors. What are you going to do to that little freshman who wants to be you? Who wants to be like you? And they're walking through the hallway. You don't know what's going on in their lives. You don't know if they've had something to eat. You don't know if they're a vulnerable citizen of your school. And you're a senior. And you've just been to Girl State, probably going to another camp this year, probably going to church camp, probably doing something else. And this kid wants to be you and did everything right to be you. Ran for class president or student council. What can you do? You can mentor them, but you don't even know that. You don't even know that they need you to mentor them. You can do a simple act. Lexi Devers. Have you heard me say that before? I said that at North Marion a couple months ago. Lexi, listen to your mother. Mother knows best. Listen to your mother. You guys know that story? All right, forget it. I got to go. Anyway, Lexi is right. Miss Spirit Leader USA from America is exactly right. Just smile at someone. A smile can change everything. When you're walking through the hallway and you're having fun, I went to Girls State, and I met Susie, and I met Mineral County, and I met Lexi, and I met them, and I met this. There's some kid who wants to be you, boy or girl. Just smile at him. How are you? That's all you need to know. That's all you need to do. And that's your responsibility now to be a strong citizen of democracy of this country. Thank you all very much for having me. It's been another blast. Thank you.